This is the name of an ancient Mesopotamian king. He was probably of Akkadian descent, but many of the inscriptions attributed to him are written in Sumerian. He does appear on the Sumerian kings list as the fourth ruler of the first dynasty of Isin. Many other bricks, tablets, vases, votive inscriptions have been attributed to him also. According to the Sumerian kings list, he reigned for 20 years, starting in 1880 BC. And for this video, I thought I would go through an inscription on a vase that's attributed to him in some detail. So this is the inscription I want to translate. This is obviously the line art. It's either a vase or it's a mace head that looks a little bit like a vase. But this is the inscription that's on there. I'm going to go through it in some detail, use myself as a cursor, and hopefully I'll explain it coherently and you'll understand what I'm saying, and maybe I might even intrigue some of you to start learning Sumerian. So as always, the top line is dedicated to a god, and this whole line says Nanar. So this is the determinative for divine, telling us what follows as the name of a divine being. This is actually two signs. So this is one here that says Shesh, and this here on the right on the end says Ki. This is called a Diri compound. A Diri compound is when two signs come together that have their own base values, but when they come together, it changes the value of both signs. So this is Shesh Ki, and we would actually read that as Nanar. Nanar is the god of the moon, but it literally translates to Shesh means brother, and Ki means earth. And I love this. I love this name of this god, because it's the brother of earth, and he's the god of the moon. And you can think of the moon as the brother of earth. So that's why I like that. So it's Nanar is the top line. And then it says Dumu Sang. Dumu means child, Sang means head, and it further translates to like head, child, or firstborn. We can read that. And then it says another name of a deity. This is the determinative of divine again, and it says En Leo. And Leo is the name of the deity, and La on the end is the genitive case marker. The genitive case marker, in this instance, we can translate it as simply as of, but it denotes possession of something. So Enlil has possession of something, and what he has possession of is Nanar, because Nanar is the son of Enlil. He's the firstborn of Enlil. Nanar, the firstborn of Enlil. Next line, Lugar Anir. Lugar means king. Ani, this is the third person singular possessive, meaning his. And Ir on the end here is the dative case marker, stating that all of this is for Nanar. So it's for Nanar. For Nanar, the firstborn of Enlil, his king, is what it's saying. Next line. This is the name of the king that I showed at the very beginning of the video, and he has like a double-barreled name. So all of this is his name, but it's actually two names in one, kind of. So this again is the determinative for divine, and this says Ishme. So kings were also divines, because they were considered the descendants of gods. So this is his part really that's referring to him. So it's Ishme, and then here we have another determinative for divine, and it says Dagan. Dagan is the god that he's being named after. This king is being named after, and Dagan was the god of the plow, the god of agriculture, and crops in North Mesopotamia, I believe. So all of this is Ishmael Dagan, and he was the king who the inscription is written by. Next line, it says U-A. Enlil, you could read this as, I'm going to read it as Enlil first, so you're not confused, because obviously we read this up here first as Enlil, and this does say Enlil. But the difference is this is missing. So it's not referring to the deity itself, and instead of this, the determinative for divine, we have this, which is a determinative, but it states that what preceded it is a suffix determinative rather than the dinger determinative, and it states what preceded it is the name of a place or the name of a city. So we could read this literally as the provider of the city of Enlil, which further translates to, it's another Diri compound like what this is up here. So when we see this suffixed with the determinative for city or place, we read it in Sumerian as Nibru or Nippur in Akkadian. So we could say the provider of Nibru, the provider of Nippur, or even if you want, the provider of the city of Enlil. The next line says Sang Ush. Sang Ush was a saying in Sumerian, and it meant respect or to support. It literally translates to, this means raise and this means head. So it's to raise the head, and it means to respect or to support. And the next line, it says Orumma. This is the name of a city because we have the determinative for city suffix to it again. We also have the genitive case marker. So he raised the city of Or. Raised the city of Or is what these two lines are saying. Raised the head in the city of Or. And then it goes on. Udagub. So Da. This can mean day, and if you were to read it by itself, it would have a silent D. But because something comes after it, it's rendering the D pronounceable. So this is why we have Da, and the A of Da is actually the grammatical function. So it's saying in the day, and it's the locative. So it's saying in that day or on that day. Stands. Gub is the non-finite verb, meaning to stand or stands. So on that day, stands, and then here we have another city. It says, and it's the city of Eridu, and it says Eriduga. Eriduga, this is the silent determinative again for city. This literally translates as the city of the prince, or the city of princes. So on that day stands in Eridu. On that day stands in Eridu. Again, another city. This time, this is just the name of the city here. This is En, which means Lord. This is the actual name of the city. This is the determinative suffixed, telling us that what preceded it is the name of a city, and this is a genitive case marker on the end. So it's saying the Lord of Uruk. This is the city of Uruk. The Lord of Uruk, that line is saying. And it goes on. Lugal, if you remember from up here, says king. The king, and again another city. It says Ishin. 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 This is city, and then it says na on the end, Ishinna. And that's the genitive case mark on the end. So this is the name of the city, Ishin. This is the determinative for city. This is the genitive case marker on the end. And this is king. So it's the king of Ishin. Same again, but this time it's the king of Suma and Akkad. Lugal Kengi Kiuri. The king of Suma and Akkad. Continuing. Dam Ki Ang. Dam is the head noun. This means spouse. And then this time, this, you might be thinking it's the determinative for city, but it's not. And this is just something you'll have to learn. You have to know which are the nouns, you have to know which are the verbs, you have to know which are the adjectives, etc., etc. So this Ki Ang is being used as an adjective in this case, and it means beloved. This means spouse. This is the adjective, meaning beloved. So it's the beloved spouse, the beloved spouse. And then the next line is going to tell us a bit who is the beloved spouse, and then it says Inanna Kake. Inanna Kake. So Inanna again is a deity marked with the silent determinative for divine. This is Inanna, the goddess of love, the goddess of beauty, the goddess of war, attached to the genitive case marker and the ergative case marker. So it's the beloved spouse of Inanna is what it's saying. And then it says Namtilani She. Namtil la ni she. Namtil means life. Ani here, it's mixed up with la of Ani, but it's Lani. So you can think of that Lani is Lani is the third person singular possessive, but the L of that is just the auslau. The Ani is the actually the marker in the third person singular. So it's his life, and she means for on the end. It's actually the determinative case marker, but because it's referring to a inanimate object, we don't use the dative, which usually is we used to translate as for, because it's inanimate. So in this case, we use I feel like I might have said that the wrong way around. But it's a determinative case marker. In this case, it states for. So it's for his life. And then the last line says Amunaru, which says he dedicated for her. And quickly, I'll go all the way through in English. So it says, for Nana, the firstborn of Enlil, his king, Ishme-Dagan, the provider of Nippur, raised the head of Ur, and on that day stands in Eridu, the lord of Uruk, the king of Isin, the king of Sumerian Akkad, the beloved spouse of Inanna. For his life he dedicates this.